This next video comes from Kyle Anthony, who began experiencing strange activity around his home after discovering something unsettling in his attic.
I go through the contents of the box after I find the doll, and there's a journal in there, along with a bunch of little, like a marble and just some change and just a bunch of dirt and probably mouse poop and stuff. It's nasty. But the journal is weird. The journal is extremely, extremely weird. It's filled with a bunch of creepy drawings and some kind of code that's just a bunch of numbers.
It all started when he heard loud banging on the attic door. Curious, he went up to investigate and found a box filled with disturbing items, including a doll missing its eyes and a journal covered in strange drawings and cryptic numbers. Kyle shared his findings with viewers, and with their help, he managed to decode a few of the journal's pages. The messages seemed to center on the doll, Shelly, but ever since unearthing the box, the activity in his home only grew worse.
Alright, for any of y'all who don't believe that this is real, then I'm just making it up. I'm about to prove it to you. Alright. Shit. Alright. There's nothing up here. There's nothing up here. I told you.
One night, Kyle heard the attic banging again. When he checked, there was nothing there. Another time, the sounds came from downstairs, and even his cats appeared unsettled, tracking something moving through the house.
I showed y'all this journal, and he apparently decoded this page. According to him, it says something like, sewing kit, because doctor says I need a little hobby because my Shelly doll is not alive. Are you Shelly? What in the hell's going on? And look at this, look at this. This is freaking creepy. Well, who did this? It's burnt. And what's going on? I don't even want to mess with this thing. Yesterday, I decoded the first page. I'll put that on the screen now. And now I'll put the translation. That's really weird, isn't it? It says Shelly. Second time, the journal has said Shelly, Shelly. Ring the bell. Flames of hell. What does that mean? It's happening again. I can hear it again. I know. I'll be right back. It's happening again. I can hear it. Do y'all hear it too? Is it coming from the floor? Or is it coming? I can't tell where it's coming from. I can't tell where it's coming from.
Following the noise, Kyle discovered a hidden crawl space. Inside, he came across something horrifying.
Let's go. And everybody's talking about my crawl space being weird. I don't know. That's the basement. Basement wall. I don't know what's going on. I didn't build it. And that's a can, I guess. I don't know. RC Cola. Royal Crown Cola. All right. Okay. That's what I was talking about. It wasn't no insulation what I was talking about. I was talking about that little thing there. It's like a little heart-shaped box. Oh, gosh dang. It's that thing. That's it right there. Can you just be empty? Can you just be empty?
The missing eyes of the doll. Disturbed, Kyle decided to return everything to the attic and leave it as he found it. But this time, he set up a camera to watch the box. What it captured is deeply unsettling. The box begins to vibrate and move entirely on its own, despite nothing else being in the attic. Soon after, new sounds began echoing from his basement.
Hearing a little kid laughing in the basement, and I do not have children. This is freaking me out. Yeah, you do hear it too? Go. Move. I'll try to go down there. Oh, God, let's see if we hear it. Goodness gracious. Shit. Do you hear that? Oh, my God, that's freaky. I don't have children. And I'm home alone. My fiance just went with her sister to the mall. Don't hear it anymore now. Goodness gracious.
Among them, something particularly chilling, the sound of a child's laughter.
Goodness gracious. Shit.
Kyle admits he has no idea what he's dealing with, or what should be done with the items. Until more answers surface, this mystery remains unsolved, and perhaps more dangerous than anyone realizes. What's up, Silent Nightmare family? I have something huge to share with you today. If we hit 100,000 subscribers by the end of September, 10 lucky subscribers will each receive a $50 gift card. You can choose any gift cards. That's $500 in total prizes as a thank you to this amazing community. It's super easy to enter. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, like this video, comment below with your favorite Silent Nightmare video or your scariest camping story. That's it. Let's hit 100K together and celebrate the only way we know how, with a massive giveaway. Abdullah's adventures often take him into real-life haunted places. Abandoned homes, crumbling villages, and landscapes filled with unexplained noises in the dark. After hearing disturbing rumors about a ghost-infested village, he decided to pack his gear and see for himself. Once there, Abdullah called out into the silence, hoping for some kind of response. What he got was far more terrifying than anything he could have imagined.
Bismillah. لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله يويني الله بسم الله.
At first, the bushes around him began to shake, debris shifting unnaturally in the stillness. Some might dismiss it as the wind, but if a breeze strong enough to move heavy wooden boards was blowing, wouldn't you hear it howling? And why did only certain bushes react, while the rest remained completely still? Then came something even worse. As Abdullah turned toward a broken-down building, the activity escalated.
أعوذ بكلمات الله التامات من شر ما خلق. بسم الله الذي لا يضر مع اسمه شيء.
A shadowy figure appeared in the doorway, leaning out multiple times. All that could be made out was its dark outline, and a single glowing white light. Was it an eye, or something more sinister?
طبيعي يا جماعة، مو طبيعي المكان هذا. لا إله إلا الله. يا ويلي، لا إله إلا الله. يا ويلي. الله لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم.
Suddenly, the figure shifted, now appearing in the building directly behind him. It was as if the entire village had awakened and turned against him. But instead of running, Abdullah pressed forward, drawn to an old, collapsing tunnel, radiating with the strongest supernatural energy yet.
أنا ما جيت عشان أنسحب. أبغى هذا اللي فوق. أنا ما جيت عشان أنسحب. حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل. لا إله إلا الله. بسم الله. اخواني اخواتي انا اعتذر منكم. انا اعتذر منكم.
Skeptics may claim the video feels staged, but that doesn't explain the loud bangs, the slamming windows, or the objects hurled by invisible hands. Like so many paranormal encounters, Abdullah's experience leaves us with more questions than answers. A man in Italy claimed he first experimented with a Ouija board purely out of curiosity. At the start, it was nothing more than a casual pastime, one that quickly grew into a daily ritual. For weeks he was met with silence, no signs from the spirit world at all. But that silence didn't last. Eventually, something answered back. And on one particular day, what followed left him paralyzed with fear.
Chi c'è? Chi è? Chi fa casino? Chi è che si sentiva? Chi c'è?
While home alone, he began to hear faint footsteps echoing across the floorboards, slowly moving closer and closer. A sudden crash erupted from behind him, and he knew with chilling certainty that he was no longer alone. Though nothing could be seen, a heavy, oppressive presence seemed to fill the air around him. The true nightmare began 3 days later. This time, his wife was the one alone in the house. The paranormal activity escalated violently.
Chi c'è? Luce. Chi è stato? Chi ha bussato? Non sono pazza. Non sono pazza. C'è qualcuno? Chi c'è? Dove sei? Fatti vedere. Dove sei? No, dove? Da dove? La cucina, la cucina, la cucina. Cazzo. Cazzo. Qui sto sfuggendo di mano.
First came the knocking at the door. Then, moments later, Glassware in the kitchen flew from the shelves and shattered against the ground. Every incident seemed to trace back to that single, fateful decision to open a Ouija board and attempt contact with the other side. What began as harmless curiosity had unleashed something sinister. And according to the family, the activity hasn't stopped. They are still searching for answers, and updates to their terrifying ordeal may follow as the haunting continues to unfold. This video comes from a woman named Emma, who captured something on film that left her deeply shaken. Late one evening, while relaxing in her living room, she began hearing strange noises at her front door. What she recorded next is nothing short of disturbing. In the clip, eerie sounds echo from the other side, followed by a chilling voice that seems to mimic her own, whispering, "I know you're in there." But when Emma peeks through the window, there's nobody outside. No intruder, no explanation. Suddenly, the door begins to rattle violently. She takes one final look, but again, nothing. The nightmare seemed to end there. Until 6 nights later, it happened again.
And this is why I can't call the cops, because when I go to look, there's no one here. I know it's hard to see, but I'm not opening the door. There's like no one out there, and like, this is a window. There's no people, but this is a window, and you can really see out there. And like, it's hard to see. So I don't know what the hell is going on.
This time, the voice grew more aggressive, demanding, "Let me in!" Once more, Emma checked. And once more, no one was there. Too terrified to unlock the door, she refused to let whatever it was inside. Emma now suspects the presence of a mimic, a spirit that takes on the voice of its victim to lure them in. The disturbing part? These encounters continue to happen every few nights, suggesting we haven't seen the last of it. So, what do you think? Was Emma targeted by something paranormal? Or was this all an elaborate hoax? You decide. Zan had been feeling increasingly unsettled after nights of hearing strange, unexplained noises from the attic above. What made it worse? The attic door was inside her bedroom. For weeks the rustling continued, until Zan could no longer convince herself it was just a raccoon or some harmless animal. Finally, she gathered the courage to investigate. What she discovered left both her and everyone watching completely baffled.
Pretty confident that a human is not up here, at least. I don't know why it's taking me so long to see this white sheet thing in front of me. I am so ready to wrap it up and get the hell out of Dodge until finally I notice something. What the fuck is that? Who is this diva? Just kidding, get it. What the f? It's just a gremlin toy? It's obviously a puppet. Wait, I think this is a puppet. Thank God. I cannot believe the mint condition this guy's in. Honestly, I'm quite drawn to it. I'm gonna see if I can see anything else real quick before I get the f out of here. The f that this is all just around the opening of the latch should be more concerning to me, but I have no self-awareness. Wait. Why did I not see this? It was right beside me. You're pulling my leg, right? At first I thought it was like a rat mask. It's a pig. What the going on in here on this day? There's no one up here. Can't hear anything up here, just the traffic. I'm gonna close this shit up and lock it. And I'm keeping my new findings because, you know what, they're kind of cute. Just inhale.
Sitting in the dust of the loft was a puppet, placed there deliberately, as if waiting to be found. Who leaves something like that behind? Instead of getting rid of it, Zan chose to keep the puppet. Things grew even stranger when she began using it to promote a new song, making it the face of her online content. Her attic videos quickly went viral, but in her next post, Zan appeared visibly irritated by all the attention. Was it just a double bluff, or had she stumbled into something far more sinister? Skeptics point out the noises could have come from bats, squirrels, or simply the house creaking with age. But those last 3 knocks, captured so clearly on camera, didn't sound random. They were deliberate, intentional, and deeply chilling.
And to do if you think that there is a person in your attic, hypothetically speaking. I feel like I am losing my marbles. I really feel like I'm losing every night for the last week. Without fail, between the hours of like 10 and midnight, there is a banging coming from my ceiling. It's not neighbors because I'm in terraced housing. I only hear shit side to side. And on top of all that, there's an attic door in my room. Here she is, isn't she diva? Hi, gorgeous. I have never been in that space, so I don't know whether it's like an entire attic, whether it's a crawl space. I don't know. It's 8:30 p.m. I'm gonna come back up here at 10 and record it so you can hear it for yourself. So you know that I'm not going crazy.
1 hour and a half later.
It's showtime, baby.
Hello.
I'm not alone, at least. Now we wait. Maybe we won't have to wait for that long. I told you, listen to the show. What the is that? Lily got creeped out and came downstairs, so I followed. I'm so sick of this. It's past the point where it's creeping me out. It's just annoying the out of me. I'm just gonna go up there tomorrow and investigate what it is in the daytime. Not now, while it's active. I might look stupid, but I'm not that stupid. I watch horror movies. Anyway, I'll give you an update tomorrow.
Then came the darkest theory of all, frogging. A phenomenon where people secretly live inside someone else's home without being noticed.
What is that?
Could that puppet have been left there as a sign? Or was Zan cleverly using it as part of a viral album promotion? Either way, the mystery lingers. And if it wasn't a stunt, then Zan's attic story is far more disturbing than anyone first believed. Then Jack, a TikTok creator with a growing passion for antiques, recently discovered the darker side of collecting relics from the past. Because sometimes history carries more than just memories. Sometimes it carries something haunted. For years, Jack had brushed off the occasional oddity. Objects shifting, faint noises in the dead of night. Nothing that felt threatening. But recently everything changed. He's now convinced that a spirit has attached itself to one of his antiques, and it refuses to let go. The activity escalated quickly. One morning, Jack awoke to an unnatural chill in his sitting room. Even with a fire burning, the air remained icy cold. Suspicious of what might be lurking, he began filming around the house, an instinct that may have saved him from doubting his own sanity. Soon, the haunting turned hostile. Lights flickered violently, doors slammed shut, and unsettling noises filled the house at all hours.
Okay folks, as you can see, it's almost 20 past 10 in the morning. I've decided to start filming because I knew something wasn't right in this house this morning. I've got the fire on, as you can see there, and it's warm outside, but the house is freezing. And furthermore, there's constant, I don't know, scratchy type noises coming from the dining room. So I've got it out there, that's the car, on the off chance. If you're making noises in here, make yourself known. Do it now while I've got an actual camera out again. It's driving me absolutely wild, to be honest. Oh, it's cold. Can you do something to make your presence known? Oh, my TV's gone off. Right, okay. Ooh, there's a bit of an atmosphere, you know, guys. Cat's acting a bit weird as well. What's wrong? You okay? What? Right, thank you for doing that. Okay, whoa, I'm freaked out. Thank you. What is it you want? Why do you just randomly flare every now and then? The cat is going nuts at the bottom of the stairs. If you've just moved that chair, do something for me again. Can you hear that noise? Sophia, what are you doing? Whoa, what was that? What was that? What was that? What? Jesus.
Whatever presence Jack had awakened, it wasn't content to simply make itself known. It seemed to have something personal against him. Whether tied to a specific object in his collection or feeding on the energy of the home itself, one thing became clear. This poltergeist wasn't going anywhere. This is VCETE. He works late shifts at a small store, often alone. And during those nights, he's experienced more than a few unsettling things. Shadows moving where no one should be, strange noises echoing through the aisles, and a constant feeling that he wasn't really alone. One night, determined to catch proof, he set up his camera while stepping out of the store. What it captured is chilling.
Alright. I didn't remember the cooler being open, but clearly see.
The lights begin to flicker, the camera shakes on its own, and suddenly the door creaks open. For a brief moment, a dark figure peeks out from inside. Moments later, the fridge door swings open by itself. Yet, when Vicite checks the live security feed, the place appears completely empty. But the nightmare didn't stay at the store.
I'm right there with that light. That's my neighbors, bro. Oh, hell no, bro. Hell, see, bro, I'm telling you, it's followed me to my house. On my mama, it followed me to my house. She's not here. There is no car in the driveway. I'm literally in the next apartment. Like, I just got home from work, and this is what I say, bro. Yeah, haunted. This shit's haunted. This motherfucker followed me to my crib. Hell no. She's not here.
Yeah, no, been doing it all day.
Yeah, I'm telling you, bro.
It's in her kitchen.
And people, bro, I'm telling you, bro, this thing is following me to my house. I'm literally, I'm right there.
Yeah,
Look, my neighbor's not here. That's my neighbor's driveway. That's mine. This is her apartment, bro. Like, I'm not folding, bro. I'm not going. My father said he's been doing it all day today. And like, this is the stuff I'm talking about. Cabinets open. This cabinet is always open. Every time I come out here to let the dogs out, it does this, bro. See? Nobody's in there. Nobody's in there. This light right here. It's no shortage because it would have messed our apartment up too. Nobody's in there, bro. I know I'm like just looking at my neighbor's thing, but bro, that's like, I'm telling you, that's trippy. Like, nothing has happened at work all day today, and then all of a sudden this stuff starts to happen? Nah, heck no, cause I live right there. Literally, it's just a wall, and I heard it. Nope, nope.
After finishing a late shift and heading home, his father mentions that the neighbor's lights had been flickering all day, even though no one was home. Viksit couldn't shake the feeling that whatever was haunting the store had followed him. And soon, things at home turned terrifying. One night, while watching TV, he began hearing strange sounds.
So I'm home alone, and I'm pretty sure I'm hearing noises, things in that back room. Hello? Please tell me you guys heard that. I'm home alone too. Man, I'm not trying to do this. I don't want to go. I don't want to do this. I don't want to go in here. Oh my... Bro, why is that? Who's here? Hello?
Something could be seen connected to a white wire, but when he returned after checking the house, it was gone. Another night, the disturbances returned, only this time he saw it with his own eyes.
So I'm home alone again, and I'm pretty sure I'm seeing something go, like, in and out of that hallway back there. Oh my, what the fuck is that? No. Bro, I don't want to go back there. I do not want to go back there. There's nobody in this room, bro, and there's nobody under the bed. Dude, what was that? It was a freaking hand. Freaking out, dude, I gotta get out of this apartment. I gotta get out of this apartment. I don't want to go in there. What the fuck are those doing over there, bro? Why is the stuffed animals over there?
A dark hand slowly wrapped around the edge of the wall before retreating back out of sight. When he searched the area, no one was there. Stranger still, a set of plush toys that had been sitting on the armchair were suddenly found placed on the sofa. Now, Viksit is convinced that whatever haunted the store is with him at home. But the question remains, did he truly capture evidence of a ghost, or is something even darker following him? I'll leave it to you to decide. Abdullah never passes up the chance to explore abandoned, crumbling structures, but this place was different. It didn't just feel forgotten, it felt cursed. On a previous visit, he had barely stepped inside before every hair on his body stood on end, warning him to get out. Something about it felt forbidden. When he finally gathered the courage to return, the moment he pushed open the door, he was met with a choking cloud of dust, collapsing furniture, and a swarm of startled bats bursting from the ceiling.
السلام عليكم السلام علينا وعلى عباد الله الصالحين أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله.
Were they simply a sign of how long the place had been sealed off from human presence? Or were they a dark omen of what was to come? Undeterred, Abdullah pressed deeper into the structure until he reached a grotesquely twisted staircase. He paused, straining to listen. And that's when it happened.
Salam alaikum. Salam alaikum. ترى بطلع لك. سمعتك. ايوه. سامع خطواتك، اطلع. اخ العيال. سامع خطواتك والله، اطلع.
The sound he dreaded most in a place like this. Footsteps. Slow, deliberate, echoing above him. Instead of fleeing, Abdullah made a daring choice. He climbed toward the sound. On the second floor, the presence grew heavier. More than just paranormal, it was powerful. That's when he discovered what he would later call the Room of Talismans.
سامعين 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 سامعين. أنت إنس ولا جن؟ أبو محمد الله القوي وأنتم الضعفاء. الله القوي وأنتم الضعفاء. ما هو طبيعي اللي قاعد يصير هنا يا جماعة، والله ما هو طبيعي. هذه غرفة الطلاسم، هذه غرفة الطلاسم يا جماعة. هنا طلعنا أكثر من سحر. أبو محمد جبريل، لا إله إلا الله، لا إله إلا الله.
Every wall was covered in cryptic graffiti and strange, menacing symbols. The air itself seemed to scream at him to leave, but curiosity pulled him deeper. Then, the real nightmare began.
أبو محمد إذا أنت إنس اطلع. عليكم يا جماعة، الكشاف اللي عندي في العماية. إذا أنت إنس اطلع. محمد الله القوي وأنتم الضعفاء. إذا أنت إنس اطلع ابن الحلال. حسبي الله ونعم الوكيل. قل أعوذ برب الفلق من شر ما خلق.
Objects hurled across the room, unexplainable noises, darting shadows that seemed to close in on him. And just as he turned to escape, a heavy chair slammed against the door, sealing him inside.
أبو محمد حسبي الله ونعم الوكيل. لا 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 لا. أبو محمد لا إله إلا الله. يدي.
Something did not want him to leave. That was the breaking point. Abdullah abandoned the investigation, convinced that whatever haunted this place wasn't just trying to scare him. It wanted to hurt him. And honestly, he may be right. Unless there was someone hiding in the shadows orchestrating all this without ever being seen, it's hard to believe this was staged. So, what do you think really happened inside that cursed building? Share your theories in the comments below. A woman was assigned by a realtor to clean a particular property. Strangely, she found herself returning to this same house again and again. The realtor explained that tenants rarely lasted long. Most broke their lease and moved out shortly after moving in. But he never told her why. One night, after the most recent tenants had left, she was cleaning the house alone when something terrifying happened.
Esta casa se ha limpiado muchísimas veces porque la gente no dura rentando. Rompe el contrato por una u otra cosa y tuvimos que venirla a limpiar el día de hoy porque ya mañana se van a mover. Se las quiero enseñar. Lo raro es que dice el realtor que no dura la gente. Esta casa se ha limpiado muchísimas veces porque rompe el contrato a la gente. Ay, no mames. Ya es noche. Estoy sola. Chingados, está ahí. No hay nada. Esta pinche casa la han rentado un chingo de veces. Y no sé por qué rompe el contrato la gente. Ay, no. Déjenme regresar, sí, porque me dio cosas aquí. ¿Te imaginas? Para que la gente rompa el contrato acá, es porque de plano no aguantan a vivir aquí. Y ahorita les voy a enseñar lo demás para allá. Déjenme prender la luz. ¿Dónde está la luz acá? Chingada madre. Ahí está. Ok, ahorita les voy a enseñar. Esta es una recámara. Se está poniendo ahorita tenso. Entonces, el señor dice que ya van varias familias que rompen el contrato.
As she walked through the empty halls, a door creaked open entirely on its own. No one was there. Trying to brush it off, she continued her work, but the atmosphere grew heavier. Approaching a dark room, she captured something chilling.
Se escucha el ruido para acá. No sé qué sea. Escuché mucho ruido. Yo creo que me voy a tener que ir.
In the corner, barely visible, was what looked like a shadowy figure lurking in the darkness. Fortunately, she was already on edge and didn't step inside. As she hurried to leave, the activity escalated. Another door slowly opened right in front of her. That was the breaking point.
No quiero apagar la luz de ella porque se está poniendo ya. Ay, no. Creo que me voy a regresar mañana mejor. Yo me voy a la chica. Esa pinche luz, la de acá la tengo que apagar.
She rushed out of the house, shaken, now understanding exactly why every tenant abandoned the property so quickly. This chilling footage is said to come from Indonesia, where a couple's peaceful life took a horrifying turn. One night, the woman is caught on camera walking past the staircase. Moments later, her partner goes to investigate, only to come face to face with a demonic figure. Paralyzed with fear, he bolts back inside, desperate to hide. But this was only the beginning. Days later, the nightmare escalated. While the woman was resting alone in a room, a shadowy presence drifted past her. She quickly turned the camera, and there it was again. The same twisted entity, standing directly in front of her, watching. And just as suddenly as it appeared, it vanished into thin air. Real or staged, one thing is undeniable: this footage is absolutely terrifying. On February 6th, 2025, Valeria and her boyfriend Diego checked into the infamous Colima Hotel in Mexico, a place locals whisper about for its dark past as a former hospital. Hoping to document paranormal activity, the couple set up their camera and began trying to communicate with any spirit still lingering in the halls. What they captured was nothing short of terrifying.
De terror a las 3 de la mañana. Estamos en un hotel que supuestamente hay espíritus.
Se supone que aquí era un hospital antes.
Así que pueden pasar cosas. Continuamos con la llamada. Le estamos marcando otra vez. Bueno. ¿Te podemos ayudar en algo? ¿Ocupas ayuda? ¿Quién eres?
¿Qué pido, Valeria? ¡Cuélgale!
Le empezó a decir el nombre de Diego, creo.
Vale, ya.
No. Cierra, güey, neta, cierra. Cierra. Uy, no, túmbate el están marcando eso. Uy, güey, tengo miedo.
Without warning, the hotel lights began to flicker on their own, followed by loud, aggressive pounding rattling their door. The chilling sounds were caught on camera in vivid detail. But when Valeria and Diego opened the door, no one was there, just an unsettling silence. Trying to calm their nerves, they stayed put, unaware that the scariest moment had yet to unfold.
Oigan, no sabemos qué pasó. Literalmente, Diego y yo estamos solos en el cuarto. De madrugada no hay manera en la que haya sido otra cosa.
No.
Güey, nos están pasando cosas muy raras.
Ya apaga eso, vale.
Vamos a literal salir al pasillo porque están tocándonos la puerta horrible y ya tenemos mucho miedo. Vean, o sea, esto está...
Fíjate. Me siento raro, vale.
Los pasillos están... Fíjate, no corras, espérate, Diego. O sea, vean los pasillos. No.
While recording in a deserted corridor, an emergency door suddenly slammed shut on its own, a moment clearly captured on tape. Under normal conditions, the door should have stayed locked by a fire safety magnet, yet moments later, it creaked open again, as if inviting them inside. Diego later claimed he saw a dark, shadowy figure lunging toward him, something that felt far more sinister than a simple ghost. Could it have been a demonic entity? Did Diego unknowingly invite this presence, risking bringing it home with them? Is this one of the scariest videos of genuine paranormal activity ever caught on camera, or just a cleverly staged hoax? This recording comes from a mother named Melia, who moved with her children into a home in France in September of 2024. Soon after settling in, her 3-year-old daughter became terrified of her own room.
Elle a des grandes dents?
Oui.
Oh non.
Crying and screaming about a woman on the ceiling with unnaturally large teeth. At first, Melia dismissed it as a nightmare, but when her daughter repeated the same details, long, dark hair, oversized hands, sharp nails, and a sinister grin, her concern grew. Moments later, the bedroom light began to flicker, and Melia started recording. What she captured was chilling.
Oui, je te crois, ma fille.
Maman, regarde.
The door creaked open on its own, with nothing on the other side. The strange events didn't stop there. Late at night, Melia heard sounds like clacking hooves, doors closing, and even the television switching on, despite both children being asleep. Hoping for answers, she set up security cameras around the house. Soon after, during a live stream, the lights blinked erratically as she showed her viewers her empty hands in a mirror's reflection.
J'ai pas de trucs dans les mains. Et là, c'est la chambre de mon fils, je vais aller vite. Voilà. Oh, ça va mieux là déjà. Je vais un câble. Est-ce que vous entendez les pas juste? Ta mère, toi.
Another time, she heard footsteps below her son's room, only for them to vanish the moment she rushed downstairs. Her trembling voice and frantic movements made it clear. She was genuinely afraid.
Ouais, je suis toute seule, ouais. Ouais, mais merci Kim, t'es un amour. Mais franchement, il y a des jours, c'est fatigant en fait. En plus, je pense que je suis malade parce que j'arrête pas de vomir et tout. Donc la fatigue, la maladie, et en plus, tu remets les bruits là, de merde là. Pardon.
On another broadcast, faint footsteps and unsettling noises echoed behind her, leaving her visibly shaken. But the worst came a few nights later. Entering her daughter's bedroom, Melia's camera caught a brief, terrifying image. a dark silhouette standing in the middle of the room before vanishing. Much of that footage was lost, leaving only a slowed clip to examine. Since then, Melia has suffered recurring nightmares of a presence trying to take her daughter. Even a cleansing ritual with sage seemed to make things worse. Now, just months after moving in, she's desperate to leave. She also points to an old condemned well on the property, which she suspects may be linked to the haunting. So, what's truly happening in this house? Is it simply fear and imagination? Or is something unexplainable lurking within these walls? John is a quiet man who lives alone, spending most of his time making music and gaming. But recently his peaceful routine was disrupted by something he couldn't explain.
I'm the only one here right now. And as you can clearly hear, there's just someone out there.
It began with a faint tapping sound somewhere inside the house. The unsettling part? John was completely alone. At first he brushed it off, hoping it was nothing. But the tapping didn't stop. It grew louder, more persistent. A few days later, while sitting at his PC, the knocking returned, this time echoing through the walls with an almost urgent rhythm. Determined to find the source, John picked up his camera and began to investigate.
To what is in my apartment while I'm home alone? Like, what could... Now, last time I didn't do this. I'm gonna open this door and it's gonna stop. I hate it.
As he moved closer, the tapping grew faster, reverberating unnaturally as though something, or someone, was hiding just beyond his reach. But the moment he opened the door, it all stopped. Silence. No movement, no explanation. Now John is left with the growing suspicion that something paranormal may have attached itself to his home. But until more evidence surfaces, the mystery remains unsolved. One evening, a man found himself home alone when unsettling noises began drifting up from the basement below. Strange knocks, faint rustling, just enough to stir his unease. Grabbing his phone, he hit record, hoping to capture proof of whatever was lurking in the shadows.
Hello? Hello? Keep hearing weird noises in the basement, Steve, so I just want to... Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. No way, no way, oh my god, oh my god. See, bro, there's nothing on this door. Hello?
As the camera rolled, the basement door suddenly creaked open all on its own, cutting through the silence of the house. No draft, no one nearby, no tricks. Just the eerie sound of the door swinging wide, as if some unseen force had been waiting for him. Summoning his courage, he descended into the basement, but everything appeared untouched. No damage, no intruder, no sign of forced entry. Still, the tension clung to him, leaving him with the unsettling sense that his home was no longer his alone. Days later, things escalated. This time, he heard the upstairs shower running, though no one else was home. Once again, he filmed as he crept toward the bathroom.
Hello? Oh, shit. There's gotta be something.
The camera captured the floor, drenched as if someone had just stepped out. And then, without warning, the shower curtain slowly slid open by itself. Behind it, nothing. No one. Just an empty stall. That quiet, deliberate movement sent a chill down his spine. Whatever force haunted the home was no longer hiding in the dark. It was bold, it was real, and it wasn't stopping. Shaken and desperate for answers, the man reached out to a team of professional paranormal investigators, determined to uncover what kind of presence had claimed his home. It was the night of July 10th, 2014. Kay Budd was behind the wheel, driving her parents, Sharon and Randy, on a long trip from Ohio to New York City. They were excited to see a Broadway show together. Earlier in the drive, Randy had taken the wheel, but now he was resting in the back seat, while Sharon sat up front beside Kay. By the time they reached Pennsylvania, they were still hours away from their destination. But they would never make it to New York. As they approached the Gray Hill Road overpass, the unexpected happened. Something suddenly smashed through the windshield with a force so loud it sounded like an explosion. Confused and terrified, Kay pulled the car over and flicked on the interior light. What they saw changed everything. A rock, the size of a volleyball, had crashed through the glass and struck Sharon directly in the head.
Oh my gosh, something came right through the windshield. Hi, I'm on the highway, Route 80. Something just came through my windshield and it hit my wife, and I think it went right through her head. Oh my God. Can you please can you get an ambulance somewhere? Can you track this phone?
Where on Interstate 80 are you?
Oh my God. She is grasping for her life.
Okay, what is your name, sir?
My name's Randy Budd.
The phone number you're calling.
Oh my God. Half her brain's gone. Oh my God. Oh my.
Sharon was rushed to the hospital, where doctors performed multiple emergency surgeries. The trauma to her brain was so severe that a large portion of her skull had to be removed. Her family was told to prepare for the worst, that she likely wouldn't make it through the night. But Sharon was a fighter, a cancer survivor. She had defied the odds before, and she did it again. Her survival, however, came at an unimaginable cost. She lost sight in one eye, parts of her face were destroyed, and the missing portion of her skull had to be replaced with medical-grade plastic. Sharon was left severely disabled and would require years of rehabilitation just to relearn how to walk and speak. The mystery remained. How had a boulder ended up smashing into their car? The answer was chilling. This was no accident. On the overpass above, 4 teenagers had been vandalizing the area. One of them, Dylan, decided to take it further. He dropped the rock onto the Bud's car, changing their lives forever. Dylan and his friends were caught and charged, though their sentences were shockingly short. Dylan served just 4.5 years before being released on parole in 2019. The others received even less. Despite her unimaginable suffering, Sharon stunned everyone with her resilience and positivity.
Keep strong. What keeps you so happy inside?
This guy. He takes good care of me.
With her husband Randy's constant support, she pushed through years of therapy and made a remarkable recovery against all odds. Randy never left her side, but inside he carried a pain no one could see. He fought tirelessly to prevent this from happening to others, working with State Senator Gene Yaw to pass legislation requiring protective fencing on highway overpasses. In Ohio, he succeeded. He fought to bring the same changes to Pennsylvania, but while Randy was protecting others, he was silently battling his own grief and guilt. On August 6, 2016, he made a devastating decision. Feeling crushed by what his wife had endured, Randy took his own life. Less than 3 hours before, he had sent Senator Yaw one final text: "Please get the fence issue settled." Even in his final moments, his thoughts were for others. Today, Randy's ashes remain with Sharon, who lives in an assisted care facility. Though she carries lifelong scars, Sharon is remembered for her kindness, positivity, and unbreakable will to keep going. Her story, and Randy's, stand as reminders of how fragile life can be, and how even in tragedy, the strength of the human spirit can shine through. This unsettling footage comes from TikTok user Ashley Lynn, who thought she had found her dream home when she purchased a house from a relative. But soon after moving in, her dream unraveled into a nightmare. Strange, escalating activity plagued her daily life, leaving her questioning her own sanity. Frustrated with being dismissed as delusional, Ashley set up cameras in the areas with the most intense disturbances. She was desperate for answers, yet terrified of what she might uncover.
Coco keeps looking towards the stairs. And it's freaking me out. Like, I don't want to go upstairs now. But here's what I caught. And I'm sorry if I'm whispering because I don't want it to hear me talk about it because I'm a little scared. But like every time I start my movie, the knocking starts. And it's not 3 knocks in a row. It's just like a knock knock and then a knock knock. Like it's not 3 in a row. But
One night, as she sat watching a movie, the silence was broken by a series of loud, deliberate knocks coming from upstairs. Even her cat, Coco, reacted. Staring intently at the staircase with unshakable focus. But the disturbances grew stranger. One morning, a red ball rolled across her dining room floor, a toy she had never seen before. It would vanish for weeks only to reappear without warning. Oddly, her cats never touched it. They only watched. Then came the moment that forced Ashley to face what she feared most. Her guest room camera recorded the wardrobe door slowly creaking open. No draft, no one upstairs, and the movement was chillingly controlled.
Explanations to that, but I came up here because I got a notification on my camera that there was movement. So that's why I came up here and checked the closet. But no one is in the closet. Coco just went in there because, again, she's obsessed with going in closets. I keep this as my extra spare closet with just random shit in it, to be honest, like pillows, blankets, things like that. But Coco doesn't really seem scared of a lot of things, especially if it's going to let her into a closet. Like, she loves it. She loves to be in places she's not supposed to be. So she's already thinking of ways she can climb. Also, I did check to make sure there's no crawl spaces, like any attic entrances, and there's not. Yeah, so sometimes Coco does look into this room, freaks me out, but again, if it has anything to do with a closet, she's all for it. She loves to be in a closet. It's so weird. Coco, you're not afraid, are you?
When she checked the closet afterward, it was crammed with storage, leaving no space for anyone to hide. In her final update, Ashley admitted she had reached her breaking point. She unplugged the cameras, unwilling to see more. But one last detail still haunts her.
It's not evil. It's not hurting me. It's not hurting the cats. We can coexist. I just don't need to see it. Also, that camera is so delayed. Like, all of the notifications come so late. And I could be in here walking around and talking, and I would leave, and there'd be like, person detected. And it's like, oh shit. Oh, nope, that was me. Duh. So it is very outdated. So I just think this was probably not the best idea. But anyways, no one in the closet. Coco was not afraid. Coco just wanted in the closet.
In the aftermath video, as she inspected the empty closet, Coco's tail twitched sharply, a feline response often linked to stress and fear. Then, with unwavering focus, the cat tracked something invisible as if watching a presence slip out of the room. The combination of physical evidence, emotional tension, and her cat's uncanny instincts make this case disturbingly convincing. And Ashley's decision to stop recording serves as a chilling reminder. Sometimes it's what you don't see that's truly terrifying. especially when your pet sees it first. The following footage comes from a man named Mike, who discovered an abandoned elementary school hidden deep in the woods, far removed from any other buildings. Locals whispered rumors that the place was haunted, but instead of staying away, Mike decided to investigate alone. Almost immediately after arriving, he felt as though unseen eyes were watching him. As he surveyed the grounds, he came across old student uniforms scattered on the ground, as if children had left in a hurry and never returned. Inside, the school was in decay, with vandalism marking the walls and a silence that only added to the unsettling atmosphere. Despite the growing unease, Mike pressed forward. The deeper he went, the stranger things became. On the floor, he found missing person flyers and unsettling children's drawings. One showed two figures hiding in the trees from someone below. Another depicted a tall, shadowy figure towering over them. Disturbed but determined, Mike continued his exploration. That's when things took a terrifying turn. Strange, distorted voices echoed through the halls, growing louder, closer. Startled, Mike hid in a corner, frozen as the sounds reverberated through the building. An overwhelming dread washed over him, and he debated running, but curiosity kept him moving forward. Then, at the end of a hallway, he saw them. tall, dark shadow figures stood facing each other. Their forms were unnatural, their presence suffocating. The distorted voices returned, this time unmistakably coming from the shadows, as if they were speaking to one another. Mike's fear took over. He bolted, climbing out through a window and fleeing into the night without looking back. To this day, he swears the figures resembled the one from the children's drawings, and he believes the kids may have been hiding from these very entities long ago. Even more chilling, Mike claims he still hears those same distorted voices haunting him, long after leaving the school behind. This terrifying footage comes from a woman in France named Rosanna, someone we've featured before. She thought she had purchased her dream home, but it quickly revealed itself to be something far darker. From the very first day, the house showed its true nature, haunted. And despite her desperate attempts, Rosanna has been unable to leave. On the night of May 7th, 2025, she was startled by strange noises echoing from the children's playroom down the hall. Grabbing her phone, she began recording, only to capture what looked like a living nightmare. One by one, toys began sliding across the floor on their own, drifting in and out of the room, as if pulled by an invisible force. When she finally gathered the courage to step inside, the playroom appeared completely empty. But then, through the reflection of the window, she spotted a dark, shadowy figure looming directly behind her. When she spun around, however, there was nothing there. Rosanna insists this kind of paranormal activity happens frequently, and to this day, she remains trapped in a legal battle over the property. Until it's resolved, she's forced to stay in the house. The question is, what exactly is tormenting her? A ghost? A demonic presence? Whatever it is, the haunting continues, and the mystery is far from over. In May 2025, a TikTok user named Melody Rose shared a video recounting a bizarre and unsettling experience. Earlier that day, she had discovered a bouquet of flowers left on her doorstep. No note, no sender, no explanation. As she casually narrated the strange delivery to her followers, something far more chilling quietly unfolded in the background.
Got these flowers. Boom. They're dying. I know. That's not weird because it's me, okay? They die. No note. That didn't happen. That didn't happen. So, hold on, my dogs are freaking out. Hold on. Back to the story. So today when I get home,
in the upper left corner of her doorway, a ghastly face seemed to materialize. Its twisted, disturbing expression was easy to miss at first glance, but once spotted, it became impossible to ignore. After eagle-eyed viewers flooded her comments pointing it out, Melody returned with an update video, this time brightening the footage. The enhanced clip only made the sight more terrifying.
the one where I get flowers, no note. I thought that's what the TikTok was about, but apparently there is someone or something standing behind me in the doorway. I decided
I'm going to screen record myself screenshotting the doorway, playing around with the settings. This is what I found.
The face was now unmistakable, and Melody admitted her heart sank the moment she saw it in grim detail. The eerie connection between the mysterious bouquet and the ghostly figure left many questioning. Was this a sinister calling card from a restless spirit? Or just a chilling coincidence that defies explanation? Skeptics argue it could be nothing more than clever editing or a well-timed prank. But if the footage is real, it may stand as one of the most haunting accidental ghost sightings TikTok has ever seen. Olivia and her boyfriend had been experiencing strange, unexplained events in their apartment for some time. Their cat often reacted to things no one else could see, and doors would creak open on their own. But one night, things took a terrifying turn. As the couple returned home late in the evening, they glanced up at their window and froze. A dark, shadowy figure was standing inside, watching them before vanishing from sight. Panicked, they rushed upstairs, only to find the apartment empty.
Alright guys, we are currently home. We are about to go in. I don't think I've ever been more scared in my life. So mind our house, but the blanket is on the floor.
The only thing out of place was a blanket that had been hanging over the door, now lying crumpled on the floor. The following night, Olivia began hearing faint tapping sounds coming from that same room. She started recording, and what she captured was chilling.
Wait! There's legit no one in here, dude. No one is in here.
An object fell suddenly, and then the door slammed shut with violent force. When she opened it, the room was empty. No one was inside. As the days passed, the activity escalated. One evening, Olivia noticed unsettling hand-like scrape marks high on the walls, far beyond her reach.
Can anyone tell me what this is? Looks like handprints, almost like scraping down our wall. That's the creepiest shit I've ever seen.
The disturbing thought crept in. Could something demonic be inside her home? That night, the most terrifying moment yet occurred. Olivia claims the presence in her apartment grew stronger, the activity more aggressive, and she now fears it may never leave. So, what do you think? Is Olivia's home truly haunted by something dark and demonic? Or is it all an elaborate setup? 13-year-old Sombra from Spain loved creating makeup tutorials and dreamed of sharing them online. After weeks of pleading, her mother finally agreed. On one strict condition: her account would be carefully monitored by her parents. At first, the videos were innocent and fun, but soon, something far more sinister began creeping into her content. Viewers started leaving unsettling comments, claiming they saw a door moving in the background and heard strange noises during her recordings. Disturbed, Sombra's parents sat down to review the footage themselves. What they found was chilling.
Entonces, el crimen. Me manché. Me manché un poco. Uy, quedaron súper bonitas. Abajo también. No entiendo por qué. Mejor me hago rápido y ya me voy. Es que chicos, yo estoy sola. Voy a ir a ver. Voy a ir a ver. Chicos, la verdad no sé. No sé por qué es así, pero bueno, voy a acabarme de hacer rápido, pero el pelo. Yo como que me voy así peinada porque la persona así.
They could clearly see the door shifting on its own, accompanied by faint, unnatural sounds that seemed to echo around their daughter. Terrified, her parents became convinced that something supernatural had attached itself to her channel, something feeding off the growing attention. They didn't wait to find out what might come next. The account was shut down immediately. For Sombra, her short-lived dream of becoming a creator had turned into a nightmare. Samuel had spent the past year plagued by unexplained troubles that turned his life upside down. No matter where he went, strange events seemed to follow. Just 3 months before this footage was taken, he was suddenly fired from his job, accused of being responsible for a large amount of missing stock. What his manager didn't realize, however, was that something far more sinister might have been at play. Seeking answers and a sense of peace, Samuel turned to prayer, hoping his faith would bring him relief. But instead of comfort, what happened next left him shaken.
Listen, I'm like going through a bad depression right now. Yeah. Yeah, I'm like literally going through. Yeah. Oh, you all right? Yes, maybe praying will do it. Hold on. Yeah. Well, hold on. Let me call you back because I gotta start praying. Okay? Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna start praying now. Yep. All right. Bye-bye. Bye. Ugh. All right. Oh. Okay, in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, I ask you, Jesus, for healing in this home. I ask you to take these demons away from my house. Leave my house now! Leave my house!
It was as if the force behind his misfortune grew enraged by his attempt to connect with the divine. Disturbances erupted all around him, breaking his focus and leaving him terrified. Overwhelmed, Samuel fled the house, his prayers left unfinished, while the entity remained free to torment him another day. Could it be that his desperation only made this presence stronger? What do you think? John lives alone, spending most of his time making music and playing games. But recently something inside his house has been disturbing his quiet routine.
I'm the only one here right now. And as you can clearly hear, there's just someone out there.
It began with a faint tapping sound, steady, rhythmic, and completely unexplained. Knowing he was alone, John chose not to investigate, brushing it off as nothing. A few days later, while playing a game on his PC, the tapping returned. This time it grew louder, sharper, and more insistent.
Back to what is in my apartment while I'm home alone. Like, what could... Now, last time I didn't do this. I'm gonna open this door and it's gonna stop. I hate it.
Finally, John worked up the courage to check. He stepped toward the sound, the tapping echoing faster and louder, until the moment he opened the door, instant silence. Whatever was making the noise was gone. To this day, John has no explanation. He's convinced it may have been something paranormal, but until more evidence surfaces, this eerie mystery remains unsolved. A man has been living in a house long rumored to be haunted. For months, he's endured relentless disturbances that have chipped away at his peace of mind. What began as subtle incidents, doors creaking open or slamming shut on their own, soon escalated into something far more sinister.
Dude. Don't scare me, dog. Man. Enough, dog. Why every time I'm alone, dude? Some noise coming from in there. Oh, hell no. Dude.
What's that noise? Oh, I'm blind. Ah, crap. Garage door's locked. I don't want to go in there. Shit. It was not like that, dude. I can't see shit through this screen. I can't see nothing through the goddamn screen. Is that water? God, this thing is. That's not. Well, I guess it is a window too. God dang, that thing's fucking filthy. Hello? Hello? Oh, Jesus. It's just my lighter. I don't know why. Ouch. I got bad posture. Let me fix that. Am I hearing things? It's like a low rumble. Fun. Fun. David. It's not funny, guys. Hello? 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 Fun? Fun. Whew, man. The chills, dude. How bad. Oh.
As the activity intensified, the occurrences became frequent and aggressive, leaving him in constant fear. Desperate for answers, he set up security cameras inside his home, and what he captured was chilling.
Weird.
In one clip, a faint transparent figure lingers beside his bed, its shadowy form impossible to explain. In another, a pitch-black shape drifts across the room in plain sight, leaving viewers stunned. Now he's left wondering, is his home truly haunted by restless spirits, or is there a far darker presence behind these terrifying events? On February 20th, 2025, a mother named Rachel noticed something strange about her son, Andrew's giant inflatable Elmo balloon. At first, it seemed harmless, just floating naturally around the house, but soon she realized something unsettling.
It's doing it again.
No matter where it drifted from, the balloon always stopped in the same place, right in front of the basement door. It never went inside. It just hovered there, as if something unseen was pulling it toward the dark stairwell. The next night, Rachel decided to film. Once again, the balloon floated straight to the basement door before coming to a dead stop. Feeling unnerved but determined, she finally worked up the courage to go downstairs.
Babe, come here. It's the balloon.
What's going on?
It's just like keeps going down to the basement.
Still with that balloon?
Yeah.
What's it doing now?
It's like it wants us to go to the basement or something.
What's on? Let's see.
The basement looked completely normal until her camera picked up something she didn't hear in the moment, a faint disembodied whisper saying, "Hey!" From that point on, the strange activity escalated. Days later, Rachel watched in shock as Andrew, glued to his iPad, suddenly stood up and followed the balloon toward the basement. Without saying a word to his mother, he began walking after it, as though entranced.
Andrew.
Alarmed, Rachel quickly ended the recording and rushed to pull her son back before he could go downstairs. But the creepiest moment was yet to come.
Babe.
Quiet. Quiet.
Late one night, Rachel's camera captured the Elmo balloon slowly creeping up the staircase, heading directly toward Andrew's bedroom. It stopped only when Rachel flicked on the light, almost as if it knew it had been caught. Even the family dogs became distressed, barking wildly whenever the balloon moved on its own. The family wanted to get rid of it, but Andrew refused to let the balloon go, even though he never played with it. They reluctantly decided to keep it until it deflated. The following night, Rachel heard loud bangs coming from her son's room.
Hey, Andrew. Andrew?
She began recording as she entered. 3 distinct knocks echoed, chillingly deliberate. Viewers later noticed something else. Andrew never acknowledged his mother, never responded to her voice. Some began to speculate he was already possessed, or being watched by something attached to the balloon. But the final encounter was the most terrifying. While home alone, Rachel spotted something horrifying near the top of the basement doorframe. On camera, a pale forehead and dark hair can clearly be seen peeking out, followed by two black, soulless eyes staring back at her. Rachel immediately called her partner home. By then, it was undeniable. Something or someone was in the basement. Could the balloon have been controlled by this entity the entire time? Was it trying to lure Andrew down the stairs? Whatever the case, Rachel is now keeping the basement door locked. And until they uncover the truth, this haunting mystery is far from over. Late one evening, a highway security guard named Javier Briones was stationed at a remote outpost in Uruguay. For several nights in a row, he reported faint knocks echoing against the outpost door. Yet, every time he checked, there was no one there. Hoping to capture proof, Javier began live streaming his shifts. That's when the knocking returned, and this time, something far more chilling appeared.
15 segundos ya, cabros. Están golpeados, ustedes están escuchando. Les voy a mostrar cómo está afuera para que vean que afuera tampoco anda nadie. Miren, no se ve nadie afuera. Está la moto ahí, acá no hay nadie tampoco. Y acá no hay nadie tampoco. Y están golpeando, se escucha el teléfono.
As Javier slowly panned his camera across the window, the pale face of a woman emerged, tilting her head unnaturally as if staring directly at him. But the terror didn't stop there. Refusing to open the door, he stayed inside, only to watch objects topple on their own, while the knocking grew louder and more relentless.
De nuevo para mostrar también que no soy yo. Ya hago este video, bueno, vamos al turno de noche, ya como el 20. Ya hago este video para que ustedes lo compartan también y ver si a alguien más le pasa. Para eso son estos videos turno de noche, lo grabo para eso. Y pasó rápido. Miren, se acaba de caer esto solo, bueno. Miren, estaba acá, estaba ahí y se acaba de caer solo.
Days later, on a fog-covered night patrol, Javier once again heard the familiar tapping. Determined to uncover the source, he followed the sound into the darkness until he spotted a shadowy figure standing motionless in the distance, silently watching him.
Acaba de caer una niebla, voy a hacer una ronda. Bueno, cabrón, 3 de la mañana y se ve como una silueta de un hombre parada allá. Está muy lejos, por eso no sé tan bien. Grabar todo el zoom para que vean ahí.
Moments later, it vanished. To this day, Javier doesn't know who or what was haunting the highway outpost. Was it the restless spirit of someone who died on that road? Or could something else entirely be at work here?